Hold on a second. Let me change the settings here. Okay, great. Uh, well, folks, this in theory will be a short live stream. What I wanted to do is cover a couple of things. The media tends to exacerbate people's concern and panic, and it really doesn't benefit anyone. There's certain things we should be concerned about, generally speaking, but that's not typically an excuse to freak the hell out and go about, just go about your lives. But there are a few things that came up, and I'm just sharing them with you. I covered some of them in my Monday situation report, Monday afternoon. There are reports that certain hackers, they claim are Iranian based. It could be anybody, though. It's kind of hard to, figure that out. Hey, Little Lone, howdy. They are threatening to target airports. Uh, hey, Loretta. Hey, Skydive. Allegedly to disrupt services or to steal financial information. I think ultimately a lot of these hackers want to make money, right? The Ayatollah or Putin or whoever, whatever bad guy, may tell them, yes, go and fight the great Satan, and then they're like, no, I'm going to steal $20,000. Fuck the great Satan. It's so there are reports of that, but that's pretty much every holiday. If you are flying, I do a lot of videos on travel for those of you who follow me. Hey, someone else snuck in there. The name just went right by. Whoever just came in, hello. If you're traveling for the 4th of July, one, don't freak out. Two, if you're traveling, travel as light as you can if you're flying. Okay, now whether hacker thing pans out or not, personally, we had United and American Airlines both kind of had their servers crash. So did Southwest last year. They won't admit to it. I think they got hacked and somebody stole a bunch of information and screwed things up. They never admitted to it. But hey, Amanda's, what's going on? Happy birthday. Hey, Farmer, what's going on? But folks, if you're planning to fly, get to the airports early, just generally on the 4th of July. 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, the big holidays, just do it. Get there early. If it's a small regional airport, you get there an hour early, you'll probably be just fine. You're going to Houston, JFK in New York, you're going to LAX in Los Angeles, give yourself a couple of hours, especially if you're going international, but even domestic. Make sure your ID is not expired, all right? They will not let your ass on the plane. I have a passport and I have my driver's license. I tend to bring both. Not participating in any festivities. No, yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of where I was. Hey, Emerson, what's going on? Welcome. Sorry, I can't read. Galveston. No, we will be in Corpus next month, but not for 4th of July. I've been, oh, by the way, Emerson, if you are where I think you are, go to the, you go over the big bridge to Galveston, right? You make the right, you hit the seawall. Don't stay on the seawall. Go down. There's Sunny Beach, and then there are 2 other beaches. You can drive on the beach, and they should have porta potties there, and you can back in. Just don't back in all the way to the water, because if the tide changes, I've seen people get their cars stuck, and then your car's in salt water. So, but yeah, you can set up a white tent, one of the pop-up tents, and do your whole thing right there with your car. And if you see the high school kids show up, just wait. The cops will run them off. Give them about an hour. The cops will get annoyed with them and chase them all away. So, but enjoy. That'll be fun. That was our go-to when we lived in Houston, was go to Galveston. But in any case, if you're traveling and you're flying, okay, so I'm going to distinguish this. If you're flying, 1, get there early. 2, a lot of people wear Crocs in the airport. I don't like to, because 1, they fall off my feet and piss me off. And 2, if there's an emergency, it doesn't have to be a terrorist, it'd be a freaking fire or some kind of accident, and you have to move quickly. Crocs are a terrible shoe. Crocs are great for the beach and at the house in the yard. I don't like wearing them in public, but that's me. I like to wear lace-up shoes, but I also have TSA pre-check because I used to travel so damn much. So I get to go on the metal detector. I don't have to go through that other contraption. Um, and I don't have a passport. Well, farmers, but you're probably not going to go anywhere. You're probably going to be working anyway because you got the cattle. So, yeah, so that's a whole nother category. But anyway, if you're flying, ID, I would print out your itinerary, even if you have it on your phone app, print a hard copy on your carry-on, and maybe leave a copy at home on your fridge, especially if like two of you are traveling and maybe someone's staying at home. So in the event there's an emergency, they have a copy of your itinerary. More importantly, you have one in your carry-on bag if your phone dies, internet goes out, whatever the hell happens. It doesn't have to be a hacker or a terrorist. It could be some idiot was drunk driving, hit the power line, took out the internet, and now you have no app. You don't know where your flights are going. You can at least look at your hard copy and go, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. Also, if there's an emergency and if I have to go, say I have to go from one side of Texas to the other to pick someone up, I know what the hell hotel you're staying at. You'd be shocked how many times I've had relatives and friends go, oh, they canceled my airline because, I don't know, a storm or hurricane, and nobody could pick me up. And I'm like, nobody knew where the hell you were. Like, we just knew you went to Dallas or you went to Houston. We didn't know where you were. So it's always a good idea to have someone else have a copy of your flight itinerary in case flights change or there's an emergency. Make sure if you bring meds, right, because a lot of us are taking meds for one reason or another, if it's not over the counter, it has to be in the original pill bottle. If they inspect it and you got them in some janky ass bottle with a bunch of pills in there, hey Ghost, what's going on? Hey Emmy. And you've never and you don't have it in a proper container, they might start questioning you. They might pull you out of line to have a conversation with you. It's a big pain in the ass. If it's in a little script bottle, leave it there. And for that, if you have like Advil, Tylenol, you know, I travel, even here, like I'm on the road so much, I keep meds, you know, the basic ibuprofen, aspirin, allergy meds with me. Keep them in the original containers, so when they look and go, oh, it's Benadryl, and they open it and it's not Benadryl inside, they're going to question you. So just be smart like that so you don't bring yourself more attention. Hey, Johnny, what's going on? If you've never flown before, I think Emmy had said she'd never flown. So if you've never flown before, check the weather. And the reason I say this, they're going to fly even if it's raining or if it's sunny. But at least if you know it's going to be windy, it's going to get bumpy, especially as they take off and get to altitude. And you don't want that to be a surprise, right? Where you're like, oh, and everything's fine. All of a sudden the plane goes, and it scares the crap out of you, or your stuff goes flying. If I know it's going to be a turbulent flight, and I'm an FAA pilot, right? I'm going to leave my seatbelt on in the seat until we're at cruising altitude. And then I'm like, okay, I'll go about and do my thing now. Hey, Johnny, I do recommend, I bought the old pair of, what do you call the Dr. Dre Beats? They have noise cancellation. There are a lot of noise canceling headsets. I bring those, especially on longer flights, because I can watch a movie on my iPad, right? And just kind of, or if I have to do a video conference, I can connect. But you don't want to hear that the whole time. That's going to give you a headache. But most of you who've flown probably already know this. I also recommend bring a snack and bring some water. Now, you can't bring water through TSA. You can bring snacks, and they have to be in the original packaging. But what you can do when you get to the other side of TSA is buy a bottled water and tote that around with you, and you can refill it at the water fountains if there are any. If you don't, well, Johnny, they do have a smoking. Hey, Mark Bake. Hey, Wisconsin. Hey, Gerald. Johnny, there is a smoking section in the airport. It's usually on a patio, but you gotta ask. They're not very obvious, and vaping has to be done out there too. Me personally, I'd rather smoke a cigar than a vape. Vapes kind of freak me out because, like, you know, a cigar has tobacco. I know what that is. I don't know what's in a vape. But either way, if you do smoke, they do have smoking areas in all the major airports, but you got to figure out where it is. Again, they're worried about hackers, but that's a continual thing. Like, hackers attack people's bank accounts all the time, and every now and then they get lucky or they get good and they get into an airline. Me personally, whenever I arrive at my destination, I'll rent the cheapest car possible, but I'll rent a car. And you can get one of those little Kia potatoes for rent for like 15 bucks, 20 bucks a day. Your normal auto insurance should cover it, but check with your insurance. But if you have a rental car, the reason I do that, one, because of business, if my meetings change, getting Ubers is a pain in the ass. I can just, turn around and drive the other way. But more importantly, if there's an emergency, a hurricane, flood, tornado, an accident, God forbid, at the airport, and your flight is canceled, which does happen a lot, especially in high volume days, you can, and yeah, Rob, you can bring an empty water bottle and then buy water and fill it on the other side, and that's absolutely okay. But popcorn along with fate. Smoking section is on the tarmac. It might be, I don't know. But in any case, okay, so where was I? Oh yeah, snacks, original wrapper, bring drinks, and there was something else I wanted to cover here. What I do like to do is on my carry-on, I bring some basic toiletries in a Ziploc, just in case it gets squished and the toothpaste comes out. Toothpaste, folding toothbrush, maybe some like face or body wipes in case you get stuck in the airport. Again, it doesn't have to be a terrorist attack. It'd be a freaking storm, a hurricane, tornado, take your pick. Happens. Be ready. If you're ready, if you have those things for a storm and a damn terrorist actually shows up, guess what? You're prepared for that too, right? You have amenities to go hide. We've had cases where I had a group of workers. We all flew in for a meeting, but from different places, and we had different flights. And several people got stuck in airports because a big storm came through, and none of us saw it coming, except for me and one other guy. We kind of did our homework. Everyone else was stuck in the airport. The power went out in one airport because of the storm. They were sitting in the dark. The vendors were closed. At least you have a granola bar and a bottle of water and a Coke or something. You have something to eat or drink while you're waiting to figure out what the hell to do. Now, if you're driving, same advice applies. Leave early, okay? A lot of people are going to leave for 4th of July. It falls on Friday, correct? So it would be, they're going to leave Thursday. So Thursday is typically a shit show of traffic. I don't like to travel on the 4th of July. Unless like when I was in Houston, I go to the beach during the day. I was back home during the day. I don't like driving around at night. I'll go to the backyard and watch the fireworks from my neighbors because there are too many drunks. That, to me, honestly, I'm more afraid of drunken idiots on the 4th of July hurting people or blowing themselves up with fireworks than any terrorist. Because I promise you, you may have a terror attack on the 4th of July, but I promise you're going to have hundreds of people get hurt from alcohol, fireworks, and stupid. And so I want to be off the road. But if you have to travel, leave early, preferably before Thursday. Check your maps. What I would do is use your app if you're using Waze or Google Maps. Plot the route, and it usually will give you a yellow triangle. Hey, KP, for Japan. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Johnny, I've been trying to switch vertical, horizontal every now and then. Yeah, I hope your boy does well over there. That's exciting and scary at the same time. If you're driving, leave early. I would recommend, I keep hard copy maps. They're actually in the back of my truck. Hard copy maps in your vehicle, just in case GPS goes out, the cell towers go down. Again, it could be a hack. It could be a freaking storm, right? But you have no cell coverage. You could be in the middle of nowhere in Arizona or West Texas, and your cell just dies, and you can't navigate. If you have a map, at least you know roughly where you are and roughly the direction of the next town or city, so you can go there and, get gas or whatnot. Check your vehicle before you leave the house. Okay, check your tires, your oil, your gas, everything. Okay, you should do that every other day anyway, but definitely do it before a long trip. Uh, Modern cars are so nice. Hey, Jason. Hey, Pilgrim. They're so well made that we take for granted they're going to start every time. And any of us who grew up with older cars that had a key, that didn't have a fob, it was just a damn key, and you had one key for the door and one key for the ignition. And if you lost one, you either couldn't turn your car on or you couldn't get in your car, and you had to leave it unlocked. You remember, those of you who are Gen X and older millennials know what I'm talking about. Or anyone older than an older millennial, you know what I'm talking about. You want to make sure your car's in good shape. I also, if we're taking, say we're going to take my wife's car, my truck, one of the two SUVs, I'll bring both keys for the SUV, right? So if we're taking my Toyota, I'm going to give her the spare key fob, and I keep one. In the event I, for whatever reason, and with a key fob, it kind of opens the door anyway, I lose mine, I lock it somewhere, I do something stupid, I step on it, now I can't drive, now I'm screwed. She has the backup. I also had my wife lock both sets of key in the trunk of her car once upon a time when we were a young couple, and I swore that would never happen again, because she had the only set of keys, and she locked them. She'll be pissed at me saying this on social media. She locked them in the trunk, and we were on a camping trip. Fortunately, I grew up in Queens, and I know how to break into my own car with a coat hanger, but I had to find a coat hanger in the woods, so I had to go to a neighbor, and finally there was a guy in an RV that had a wire hanger, and I was able to jimmy her car open so we could get in to get the keys so we could drive. So always bring two sets of keys, just a painful lesson. Regardless of how you travel, bring cash. Bring whatever you can spare. My own recommendation is enough for 2 tanks of gas and a hotel room and some McDonald's, whatever that means to you. For instance, if I'm going from Houston to Dallas and I get stranded in Houston from a storm, for example, figure I'm trying to get home, I have to stop halfway because the storm gets bad or whatever. What's a Holiday Inn, a La Quinta? You could get some hotels for $40, $50. I'm not talking go to the, the rat shit hotel where they'll mug you and kill you or kidnap you. I'm talking about a generic roadside motel that's decent. Anywhere from 30 to 60. You want to get bougie, you can go to the higher ends. Obviously, you can pay more. So do that kind of math. Say, okay, 2 tanks of gas is, I don't know, $80, $40 a tank, depending on how big your tank is. A night at a hotel and goodies at Walmart or maybe McDonald's, and do that math for you, however it works out. That should be roughly what you're carrying. If you can carry more cash, great. Again, split the cash up between the people on the trip. So if your wallet gets stolen, you get held up, you just lose it, someone else has some cash. Also, sometimes cards just don't work. It could be a cyber attack. It could be a terrorist. It could just be shit broke and your card doesn't work and now you can't buy things. You have some cash. So just be smart like that. I get them from the Pilgrim. I get the wire hangers from the dry cleaners because I have certain business shirts I get pressed and dry cleaned. And then I put them on my hangers at home, and I have like a pile of these stupid wire hangers. Probably need to go bring them back to that little business. But anyway, ask Mommy Dearest for a hanger. God, I remember that movie, dude. In any case, hold on. I lost track of the chat. He took off. Anyway, so folks, plan out your trips. Don't panic. Could there be crime? Sure. Could there be terrorism? Sure. That's always a threat. If you keep the basics down, right? Your vehicle's in good shape. You have gas, you have cash, you have snacks, you have a first aid kit. I travel with a first aid kit in my carry-on. The first time I did, I had it in a case and they did not like that. So what I did, I took the contents of my little first aid kit and a tourniquet. I took it out of the case it came in. I put it in Ziplocs and separated bandages, the tape and gauze, whatever the hell else was in there, and then my little tourniquet. And I put it in my computer bag in Ziplocs, one behind the other. So if they want to inspect, they can pull and see exactly what it is. Never had a problem since. I've made at least 10 flights, one of which was to and from international. Nobody said anything. As a matter of fact, 2 TSA guys were like, wow, that's a really good idea. He said, why do you have that? I'm like, man, I'm an engineer. Like, you have no idea how many times I've gone somewhere and a dude falls off a crane truck, or somebody gets pinched in a door. Now somebody's bleeding badly and I have to bandage them or even tourniquet someone. I said, it's just work accidents, and it happens. So yes, Loretta's absolutely right. Check your tires. Hey, Rum Runner, what's going on? But yeah, just have the basics and you'll be fine. And you shouldn't be breaking the bank to do this. Buy it in parts. Don't, if you want to spend $100 on a really bougie first aid kit for travel, great. Or you buy the off-the-shelf Johnson & Johnson one, then you get all your basic stuff, and then add what you need to that little bag until you have a first aid kit you're happy with. And you can do it at $5-10 at a time, so you're not screwing up your budget. At the end of the day, look, we're going to hear a lot of people are going to go out there and go, hey, look, oh my God, the terrorism, oh, the Iranians are going to do shit. They might do that on some random ass Tuesday. We don't know. 9/11 happened on what? 9/11 was a Monday or Tuesday morning? Like, who the hell? There was no holiday then. It's a holiday now. It's a remembrance now, right? The attack in Israel, October 7th. If bad things are going to happen, it's not necessarily going to be on a holiday. It's going to be at some random ass day that they just decide, oh, we're going to do bad stuff. Yeah, Refuge has some nice ones. My Medic has some good ones. You can find some good ones at the hunting, like Cabela's, but Cabela's gets way pricey with everything, because I can find the same shit at Academy. Actually, Academy, if you don't go to the hunting section, go to the boating section, and they have first aid kits there too, and I think those are better, but that's just me. Hey, Batshit, what's going on? But anyway, folks, look, plan out your trips. And the best trip you can take, especially in light of all the threats and all the drunkenness and all the stupid people and the fireworks, stay at home. That's what we're going to do. There's a band playing at the local bar. It's like a blues band, and it's about a 5-minute drive. We might just Uber it, or we'll drive it, and one of us will have to cut ourselves off. And we're just going to go take in the band, have a glass of wine, you know, have a couple of those little gourmet bougie sandwiches, listen to the music, and then go and sayonara and go home by 10 o'clock and let all the idiots drive around drunk by themselves. I want no part of it. But if you do have to travel, and a lot of us do for family, friends, whatever, plan it out and just be calm. There's no need to freak out. And stay on budget when you buy your stuff. Remember, you can buy stuff cheap. On a side note, Sam's, if you didn't see my short video the other day, Sam's now is carrying solar generators. I think they were EcoFlow brand. Harbor Freight now has Jackeries, and they also have this weird brand. And then Walmart now has the solar panel and the base station. I don't remember what the hell it's called. It's like, I don't know, Lion King, Mufasa, Pumbaa. It's some weird ass name that was made in God knows where, but they have that too. Hey, Nursan Farmer. So, in any case, you know, don't panic, plan out your trips, and just, hey, Gen X Gemini, plan out your trips, and don't panic. Take your time, but leave early, and leave when you leave your destination to go home, leave with enough time to get back in a timely manner, so you don't have to worry about accidents, you don't have to worry about any other delays. You get home, and folks, just enjoy the weekend. Like I said, we're planning to not go very far. We're going to go about 5 minutes away to the little wine bar. They got the jazz band. We're going to watch them for the night. Maybe they'll shoot some fireworks in that little plaza, and our butts are going to go right back home, and all the idiots can go do whatever they do in the street. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you guys be good, be safe out there. Check for those deals, and remember, there's going to be a lot of stuff on sale after July 4th as the fall stuff comes in, from clothing to outdoor stuff to camping stuff. So watch for those sales, because you could save some money and find something that you may want or need. And if you can save 20%, that's 20% you can put somewhere else, whether it's to pay down debt, pay a bill, buy some other preps, go buy yourself a nice bottle of wine, whatever the hell it is that floats your boat. Save that money. Absolutely. So you guys be good, be safe, be careful out there, enjoy the week. And if anything else exciting happens, I will reach out to everyone. The Four Horsemen should be on tonight, but I'm not sure where all the guys are. So I'm not sure. I swear one of the guys is traveling. So we might have like the 3.2 Horsemen. I don't know how that works. So in any case, I'm not sure. In theory, we're supposed to. Not totally sure yet. But you guys be good, be safe, be careful. And I will see you all, on my next video. You guys be careful out there.